for RNG just because of how creative G2 are, whether it's in the drafts, which Xiaohu just credited them for, or even just the way they play the map. They make a lot of unexpected plays, a lot of really crazy gank timers, and I think RNG are the kind of team that can be caught off guard.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, at least we had the Xiaohu interview. He's like, yes, we know they're very scary. We know, their drafting is really intelligent as well to get counters and everything. So they're at least aware of what's going on. And Xiaohu, historically has done well against Caps, whether he's on Fnatic or G2. But going to be a whole lot of fun here. Interesting note, by the way, because we've got some incredible veterans who've been around forever, players like Faker and Jankos in Impact, Xiaohu in this one as well, and some really, really young players. Bin and Wei, for example, both 19 years old. G2 are the oldest average age team remaining at this tournament. Every single player is older than the average player at this tournament.
Which is pretty crazy when you think about it. There's a lot of these newer players coming up, right? Flakked, Targamas. BrokenBlade been around for a little bit now, but definitely you think of Jankos, Caps, and Xiaohu, these guys who have been around forever. We're going to jump into the bans because pretty surprising for me, RNG leaving open things like both the Wukong and the Ahri. We know Ahri is something Caps can pilot extremely well. It's been his most played this year, but Wukong has been poking his head in this tournament and honestly having a great time. Just so much engagement, being able to dash over those walls, find those creative game timings that we just talked about. Jankos can do a lot with this pick.
Hey, I'm always going to hold out the hope that it's going to be a flex. No Calista for the she throws some in shenanigans for like a support Wukong. That's trash, by the way, don't do it. But I'm always a fan of the possibility of the top jungle flex, so I will always keep that in my mind as a possibility here. Gwen had been really the most picked top laner for the most part. Very high win rate there as well. So going to be locked in there. We really don't see your jungle flex at all, so just going to take that one no matter what. Whether you like the Wukong matchup or you're going to blind pick it, that's in for Bin.
And I think this rotation just makes so much sense for the side of RNG. These are the two best blind pick champions in their roles, especially with the fact that RNG have banned out the LeBlanc. The two champions we've seen come out to answer the Ahri is the Veigar, which you don't really have the same presence in the early game. We did see in the last game, though, if it goes late enough, sure, you can have a massive impact. In Vex as well, it's like, sure, you can match the proactivity, but I feel like Ahri is just such a pick with so many diverse options. I'm glad to see G2 going in another direction.
Goes for the Zoe, so Cap's going to go for an early aggressive champion. Certainly can be laying down. It's going to be an exciting matchup to watch for on that one for sure, as we look to see what their third pick's going to be before the ban phase comes in. Are you answering a top laner? Are you going to let RNG throw more bans at it to make Gwen feel happy? We've seen Vladimir frequently be the option. And it's going to happen here again. BrokenBlade just destroyed Impact with it back in the group stage. Can try to do the same thing against Bin here.
And already setting up for such a good team fight 5v5 comp, right? Wukong with the knockup trying to set up for Vlad for a huge ultimate and burst out the carries from the side of RNG. Now for RNG, you'd expect a jungle to come out, highlighting the Ezreal right now, having confidence in Wei, and Wei's had a bit of a shaky year, which is pretty surprising when it felt like he was the big playmaker, the big standout for RNG last year. In the regular split and playoffs, he really did depend on that Viego as a crutch to give him good performances, but no, they're going to go with the Ezreal and they're going to put faith in their jungler.
Yeah, I mean, how long until the Volibear comes back? That's the real...
Emily is cringing in the back listening right now.
Yeah. And it's not because of a pun, it's because I'm talking about a player, straight up. So we'll see what comes through. Tristana off the table. She has definitely had the stocks go up into the right. Very strong champ for sure. A lane bully with, a solid late game. Okay, not go for that one. Of course, Ezreal, not escapable early on. And honestly, you can pretty heavily out-trade him. If you can put in spells, you can put him back. So, okay, off for that one, no problem there. And there's that Viego. You mentioned it, first things first. That was one we care about, and G2 cares about it too.
Yeah, and I'm really curious to see where RNG go from here. We have so many, I'd say, all-in style champions in the bot lane right now in this meta. Tristan obviously being taken away. We've seen some Samira, Calista already being taken off the table. But G2 have also been more interesting in terms of the AD carries they picked here. They still do have the Kaisa. If RNG don't opt to ban that one, they've already played it twice. We've seen them being one of the teams still willing to pick the Zeri after the millions and millions of nerfs she has received. And yeah, they're going to leave pretty much everything open, caring more about that Senna. And Senna Wukong's the thing. That is the thing that Europe specifically kind of pioneered.
I love Senna Wukong, by the way. I'm actually a really big fan of playing Senna more as a support and letting the bot lane farm champion be more of a carry than just like, well, I'm a Tom Kench and I built 2 tank items. And it's like, that's nice. I'm a huge fan of playing something like a Wukong, or if you're going to go really spicy, like a Yasuo. Yasuo Senna, by the way, great lane. Highly recommend, just FYI, just try it out in solo queue if you know how to play Yasuo. Great duo overall. Lee Sin got the option though, and I'm loving this one. Did get some nerfs, haven't seen the most Lee Sin recently since those nerfs came through, but fun champ.
Yep, his base AD got nerfed, as well as his Q damage being taken down a little bit. Things that not only hurt his clear, but also his gank. So just all around being hit. We've seen him a little bit. I think he's played 6 times so far in this tournament. Way going to try once again. You have a very strong mid-jungle duo right now. Ari with the charm to sit up for the Lee Sin. Now for G2, I feel like this is typically where we do get a little bit more spicy. The Kisee is something we've already highlighted that I feel like Flakked has looked very comfortable on. You have a composition with the Wukong right now that can just dive into that backline, and I'd love to see more engaged to follow up in this support role. Luckily for RNG, they aren't going to have to worry about the Pyke since they've taken that one away. That pick scares the living crap out of me.
Oh, sure.
Maybe, you know, Leona, Nautilus, Rel, the kind of go-tos we've been seeing all day long. Actually, Nautilus, not so much. Shot a ton in the first stage, but...
No, but he was, I believe, the highest priority support, you know, across the first stage. Yes, he had kind of waned off. I give you that one, but gonna go for it here instead. He still has the reliable engage tool. You've still got a point and click R. Ezreal cannot disjoint it. Ari cannot disjoint it. Lee Sin can't disjoint it. Okay, Gwen is immune. But if you want to get on most of that roster, it's going to happen there. Flakked can always follow through. BrokenBlade, right? Like that, you're gonna have the follow-up there. So, you know, I think this all works out pretty well. Leona Nautilus, I've seen this 100,000 times. You know, you can interrupt each other's engages and, you know, kind of disengage together.
Yeah, and I find these two drafts very curious. RNG's, I think, is a little bit more standard in terms of you have a lot of different options you can play out. Like, they have a strong 5v5. They have the Ezreal to carry. They have great frontline in the Gwen and the Leona. They have some pick potential in sides with the fact that they will have both Ari and Gwen there as compared to the Zoe on the opposite side. To where for G2, you have kind of pseudo all-in with Vlad, Wukong, Kisee, Nautilus, and then the Zoe, who doesn't really follow that same play pattern, but at least can contest pressure mid in the early game.
Yeah, I think one thing that Jat told me when he was, you know, coaching Team Liquid and, you know, turned their 9th place around into a finals, you know, great, you know, smart man. Basically, the goal is you want 2 lanes of priority and better scaling. If you have that, you've won the draft. Right, more pressure than them, better late game than them. That's everything you kind of care about because you can play the game plan, you know, early game and late game. Can you contest Ari early game as Zoe? Yes, you can. Can the bot lane duo win? That's a close one, but you can, right? If you play well enough, that's actually your 2-on-2 on either side of the matchup. So, you know, very skill matchup there, I think. But, you know, you got AoE clear on the Kisee. That can feel pretty solid. And yeah, I love Wukong and Vladimir team fights, right? I love Kisee team fights. So, right, like on the G2 side, you kind of got everything you want. Like, this is not like 100-0, oh, you slammed like the draft, but like, you look at it and you're like, I'm comfortable with this draft. If I'm comfortable with my players, I'm confident in my players, I like this draft.
Especially, I mean, if you find the engage, right? If you find the engage, I feel like G2 should just be outright favored, having so much AoE, having Flakked with the ability to reposition, get himself on top of that Ezreal, and having the point-and-click CC Nautilus that we didn't see earlier on in the day when RNG played to punish that pick.
Absolutely. So here we go on to the Rift, the only remaining undefeated teams at MSI 2022. G2 shocked the world, maybe not the EU analysts, but shocked everyone else with the win over T1. Earlier, RNG took care of business against EG, and now we'll see what else they can have happen because G2 dropped their win streak, or does RNG now take over the #1 spot?
Yeah, and I think for G2, one of the areas where they're really going to outshine RNG is the early game. RNG's early game, pretty much all year long, has been a little bit suspect. We saw in playoffs in the LPL Top Esports gap them pretty much every game and rely on these crazy 20, 25-minute comebacks, throws from the sides of Top Esports. We saw in RNG's game earlier today. It was, you know, a little bit slower. They were accruing advantages for macro. And I feel like G2 are a team who are willing to slam their foot on the gas pedal.
Yeah. G2 are the faster team of these two, for sure. I mean, Sahu just provides so much. It's funny, his interview earlier, he's like, yeah, I learned more about being like the engage on the team, which I don't think is that useful as a mid laner, honestly. You know, he's not Doinby, right? He's not running around Nautilus or Malphite.
It's useful.
Yeah, if only he, you know, like that, you know, some mid laners do that. But I mean, Ari certainly, I mean, Sahu is mobile. Like, this man is everywhere. He runs around. He does get a lot done. So to me, like, he's the X factor for the early game.
Yeah, and I feel like the Devs did a really good job of highlighting that it's 2 very distinct play styles. Xiao's going to be all about enabling your side lanes, kind of covering for some of their weaknesses, especially Bin up in that top side. To where for G2, it's all about getting Caps ahead. Caps even able to do that for himself, as we saw in some of the outplays like him on the Yasuo earlier in the tournaments. Just some really nice plays. So Cap's going to be looking to be the big carry, to where Xiao going to be looking to enable sides. Like you said, I think the spot lane matchup can have a bit of volatility. There is some skill there, so that would be a place where I wouldn't mind for RNG to look to put their emphasis. Even for G2, you have Vlad scaling and chilling up in the top side. If you can get Flakked ahead, if you can unlock this Kisee, it's going to be massive.
Well, no stacks left for either tank support here, and it looks like the wave control is going to go to RNG, so you got to back off. Playing far enough back that, I mean, basically Gala can't land E on an enemy champion if he goes forward, so it's just like a missed shot and auto attack, and G2 can kind of comfortably fight that one. We are in Glacial Augment meta for most of the supports. We do have Aftershock and Targamas, by the way, but like level 2 Leona doesn't have her W and doesn't have Aftershock. So if she jumps in, Ezreal can Q auto. You just trade back on her with Aftershock Nautilus, and you actually win that one, level 1 and level 2.
I mean, especially Halo Blades on the Kisee, right?
Exactly, right? You actually just pop, pop Plasma on her. You actually win that trade. So you saw G2 actually stand their ground with level deficit, because the matchup the way it actually plays out with rune choices, they're fine with that one under the minion wave.
Yeah, so far G2's bot lane playing this very intelligently. Interesting to see Xiaohu get the early recall. Gonna come back, have the Dark Seal, have a Corrupting Potion, so can look for a bit more of these aggressive trades. And that's what we hit on a draft, right? When you pick something like the Ahri with the Lee Sin, you typically want to see those ganks towards the mid lane, even if you can't find a kill. If you can burn Caps' flash, make it so he can't play more aggressively, he can't look to push out the wave, or join in these river skirmishes where Zoe is just so good at picking up spells used, looking for creative angles with your bubbles. I feel like that's really what's going to open up RNG for success. So look to punish Caps. If Caps gets through landing phase unscathed, I'd be pretty scared from RNG.
Nice try, and ooh, it's a turret shot. Almost landed the Everfrost. Would have been a little bit of a nice trade into the sleep, but doesn't happen. One camp ahead basically for Jankos. He's finishing up Scuttle just now and heads around to find his next goal. He did skip Krugs, by the way. It was a full clear for the Lee Sin, who's actually now his own camp ahead. I take it back. Temporarily there was an advantage, but as Wei is on the map level 4, he's going to say, okay, this man skipped Krugs. I know his camp path. I know what he did. All right, I'll get my second recall. Jankos will kind of catch up, and now he's on the map with double longsword.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see where Wei goes now with this information, right? Because he knows that Jankos could be heading towards his Krugs right now. You see that Bint has a control ward up the top side, so potentially can look for some kind of gank. Vlad can be pretty hard to gank. You have the W available, also still has his Ghost up to be able to escape. But if the wave was on his side, potential option with Bint is going to push that one out. And RNG, once again, just kind of opting for a bit of a slower early game.
Yeah, not going to be much to do. Honestly, without a lot of a hard CC, it's pretty tough to force the BrokenBlade death. You have to like go in, force the Puma to try again in 20 seconds. At
the most, you get the Ghost, but that's probably the best you're looking at.
And if you do that, okay, come back in 3 minutes and maybe you convert the kill. But you know, either Ben has to trade so well to get him down to like 30%, where he pulls the Q, you like follow, land E, and then you kind of finish the tower dive. But that's what you have to do. Ignite.
He's looking for it right now.
I mean, it's a smart Ignite because it prevented the big heal from empowered Q, which is why he's low enough to be diveable. And that means he's going to have to drop 2 waves, and it's a cheap heal as Vladimir. It's really, really well done by Ben.
Freak, is your game 15 seconds ahead of mine? Because you kind of painted that picture way too well for what we saw happen.
I play enough top laners to know like how Vladimir matchups go, and it's like, it's actually his health bar that matters. And it's so tough to play the matchup right, because like, if you do it wrong, he just hits you with Airy, Scorch, Q auto, and you're like, well, his health bar's bigger than mine. But if you get it right, he's at 20% and he's now tower diveable. So really well done by Ben. That can be a tough matchup, but he played it really nicely.
Yeah, now though, BrokenBlade can come back with those Lucidity boots, so gonna be able to get that Q off even more. Just keep the sustain going and not let Ben continue to bully him out, because he does have a bit of a lead right now, especially with the fact that BrokenBlade was zoned off the wave, so missing out on quite a bit. But it opened up G2 to be able to take control of topside jungle, because they knew where Wei was. They knew he was posturing for that play. And Targamas and Jankos right now just kind of looking to be a little bit cheeky, but RNG not going to give them any windows.
And not much going to happen right now. 200 gold lead to RNG. Feels pretty good right now. Bot lane's looking pretty normal. Feels pretty good to get a Sheen tier recall, so I think Gala is going to feel definitely comfy down there. Flakked on boots, okay, no problem. And yeah, we're just kind of chilling for a bit. Dragon, of course, is up. RNG, very Dragon focused as a team. If they can kind of have that one stacked, then they're really happy at 30 minutes, where it's like, all right, well, we're online with 3 items. You have to fight us for it, or we're getting solo. And tends to work out for him pretty well. They, of course, won the LPL. Here we go. Nice anchor comes in. Aftershock's on. Still wants to dodge away from the charm. Flashes to stay alive. Ultimately, still a summoner down. So well done by Ming.
Yeah, RNG moving their bot lane over first. Scala conceding that wave. Ming was already here. G2 still looking for a bit, but ultimately just find a nice bit of trade back and get the scuttle crab for themselves. That is where it's going to taper off. Ultimately, though, like you said, in favor of RNG, they were able to get Targamas' flash out from him.
Targamas also not even going Hex Flash, so his actual flash being down really does stymie his engage capabilities. In general, Leona's going to be mostly fine Ezreal if he's paying attention for Arcane Shift, so probably doesn't mean too much with that down regardless, but going to keep note of that one, that he's certainly a relatively easy target for the next 4 minutes. 1 turret plate down, well done to BrokenBlade, holds his 6 CS lead. Should lose most of that as this goes down. So even though he's pushed out a lane once, has done a good job with lane pressure.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's been really cool to see G2 being willing to so confidently go towards these picks, but I'll pause for a second because Wei kind of angling for a gank. Vlad has ultimate up, still has W and Ghost as well.
Is it going to be enough? There's Ghost. Disjoints the Q damage, jumps towards the wall. Flash kick is beautiful. Big heal comes in, ignite on. BrokenBlade will get shut down. Wei burns the cooldowns and burns the top pilot to the ground.
I love the confidence coming out from Wei in that play. Follows up, it kind of looked like BrokenBlade might have been able to get away, uses the ghost, has the W available.
Yeah.
Wei holding on to the flash though, and once again, BrokenBlade gonna be denied even more CS.
Yeah, big thing is he needs to hold his W for Q1, not Q2. The man still takes the return trip if you wait until he starts it. So kind of a mistake there for BrokenBlade, not kind of playing out the fight in his head. Either way, though, credit due to RNG's jungler. Wei sets it up, and it's been knocking it down. So off to the races is a Gwen, and that makes team fights scary.
Yes, especially for RNG when we've talked about how volatile Ben has been as a player, how he's constantly looking for these heavy trades, needs a little bit of babysitting from the teams that he's on. Nice to see him get off to a lead, but G2's still going to use his timer. They know Wei's going to have to go for the reset to turn that in onto a play for Herald. Now Flakked, you're going to have to be a little bit careful. We see Wei hovering around a bot side right now.
Yeah, and I think Jankos actually on the minimap reset the Herald. Yeah, he did. So he ran the patience out on Shelly, had to go for round 2 in this one. It cost him like 15 seconds. I think RNG get this dragon anyway. Very minor mistake. It shouldn't mean much, but there's the dragon for RNG, exactly what we kind of talked about. Emily talked about it after their win over EG. Targamas, nicely timed, gets the Q out of the turret, gets away from Solar Flare, and level disparity not going to matter.
Yeah, it looks like RNG is still going to posture for this at least. We can see on the minimap, Xiaohu's moving down. Ult doesn't hit, though.
Yeah, no ults for anyone right now. Every single thing is down. Aftershock is on. They're just going to burn Ming to the ground. Flakked dives away. They're going to trade one back at least, but still well done by the G2 bot lane. 1v3. Xiaohu goes in. A flash got away. Wei can't find the Q just yet. He's going to get it at the end. How about the rest? Caps cannot land it, but the turret will. Minions are in the place. Now Caps has his own flash, has an extra one to chase down. Will he go for it? Health bar's low. One more auto will kill him. The kick back though, does Xiaohu have enough? There was the question. Caps gonna try for more paddle stars. Xiaohu very low on mana is the thing. It's gonna be an auto attack fight now. So Caps, if that sleep landed, he might have gotten the kill here. Xiaohu now gonna maybe walk away. Paddle star will not quite kill. Good sidestep. Jankos on the way. He's stealth and a flash to safety. Knew that. Hold on, this could be a threat. Well done by Caps, buying the time, forcing a flash out of Xiaohu.
Constantly seeing Caps be the difference maker, follows the roam, finds the outplay, picks up a bunch of kills for himself. I'm a little bit disappointed that Jankos joined in at the end. I would have loved to see the 1v1 between two such historic mid laners, but you know what? We'll take it.
Yeah, to be fair, he was invisible when Xiaohu flashed away, okay?
True.
It could be a pro view, and you're like, oh yeah, he flashed from 1v1. Caps got it by himself, but obviously a good move by Jankos, and yeah, I think we're gonna see more soon, don't worry.
Yeah, and we see here RNG setting up, having about one wave. Xiaohu posturing down, but that's the thing, not all members are here right now, so Mean going in a little bit before anyone's able to follow up. Really nice burst coming out from G2's bot lane to take him down right away. They want to keep this one going, they want to be able to find the kill. It's a 3v1 right now, but Flakked with a really nice pop of his R, able to buy more time for Caps to get down here. Like you highlighted, Freak, Turret kind of took that one down, but Caps being able to pick up these summoners makes it so he can keep following up on the play, hits the electrocute, dodges out from Xiaohu, and that's how he's able to get it done.
That Q not landing, a really big deal. Caps kept going to the right. I don't know if he was a predicted juke or not, but either way, Sonic Wave not going to come through. Wait! Oh, man! Caps is just so damn good. Jankos gets away. The clone helps tank some of Xiaohu's damage. True shot barrage! Woo! He felt that on his tail.
He was so close. Azael said it the other day on Dive4 that Caps has been the best performing mid at the tournament. I think it's pretty unarguable.
Hard
and
agree.
He's showing it once again here today. A little bit to the sadness of me being an LPL caster, but when you see plays this amazing, you can't help but just love it and be excited.
Oh my gosh. Caps is on another level. He tore through everyone in the LEC. I mean, I don't want to say put G2 on his back. His team is obviously very good, but clearly the best performing player right now in Europe and the best performing player right now in the world.
Yeah.
And that is awesome to see. 3-0 right now on the Zoe. Right, not a lot of other players are really picking this champion. He's clearly making it work. Beautiful stuff to see. And now, to see what happens on next.
And now RNG looking for a bit of a play themselves up towards the top side. Nice shot, Caps hovering towards his jungler. They're not going to open up any potential opportunities to come through. I'm curious to see how much gold Caps is sitting on, what he comes back to in lane. Could have so much pressure now coming out from mid that G2 might just be able to constantly look for these rotations on the sides into enemy jungle. Yeah, about a 1k gold lead in the mid lane, having his mythic already.
Yeah, that 1k gold lead paid back by the top jungle of RNG, so we do see in the scoreboard it's a tied game here, just sort of marketing like who's got the leads, right? It's Caps big up for G2, it's the top side big up for RNG, and they're gonna try again right here. 3, 4 versus 1. BrokenBlade, what can you immune? They're gonna walk up for the stun, then chain everything. W comes down, Ming has the turret dagger, has to walk away, ignite. Good stopwatch finds the kill, and turrets will just switch back to the minions. So a well-played dive by RNG. They lose a stopwatch for it, but the kill is worth it, as now G2 fight through the side. And I mean, they are 1,000 damage away from Shelly finishing this turret for them.
Yeah, just really nice cross-mapping coming out from the side of G2. They realize they can't look for this, go down towards the bottom side. They don't need to commit Caps, so it looks like Caps is being ganked right now.
He is, so there comes the damage, but he's gonna be just fine. Targamas putting a lot of space there as well. Caps gonna trade back on the Gala. Targamas will go down. No, the flash to safety. 15 health left, and Xiaohu cannot find that kill. First turret went to G2, traded back by Bin, but the Herald charge went on a bot tier 2. That's gonna be like 800 gold waiting to be claimed pretty soon by BrokenBlade or Jankos.
And I think that's just so tragic that Xiaohu's not able to find the kill, because it means G2 able to get the second charge off unpunished. Now Xiaohu doesn't have ultimate, so even if he does roam down to cover the bottom side, they can't look for an aggressive play that maybe they would have been able to otherwise. And G2 now coming out a little bit ahead in terms of gold, but it really has felt like they've been the ones with the pressure so far.
Yeah, ultimately, Shelly, right, until that bottom lane turret dies, and this is valuable, right? The fact that it crashed, and that's very useful. Until that turret dies, though, there is no like intrinsic difference in G2's standing. At some point, it is plus 800, it is plus that pressure. The crash matters, but right, both teams got all 5 plates. Both teams still killed the turret, Shelly or not. So even though the tempo was better for G2 and they got 150 for the first turret, you know, RNG answered it pretty well.
I've been feeling solidly on that point. G2 don't have anyone who really plays out through the side lanes and wins, especially with the advantage that Bin has.
Yeah.
So probably not something you're going to capitalize on anytime soon. But right now, Dragon setup coming out from both teams. G2's comp doing really well in this with the Zoe, but Wei looking for some aggression.
Yeah, okay, out he goes. No sleep gonna land as he jumps back away. No problem there. Flash up, kick up. Huge damage to the Gala, down to about 60%. Couple of slows coming across. Re-engage. Caps down low now as well, but Ming is gonna be taking a nap. Is it gonna be in the dirt? It looks like no. We'll stay above ground for this one, but hold on. We're waiting for the next one. Yeah, Xiaohu not yet going over the wall. Flash, ult, charm, all that's gonna be up, so can make the play. G2 grouped up, and Ming, I think, has to take his reset. So 5v4 is an opportunity. Nice try on the Gala. Arcane shifts out. Xiaohu's still gonna wait. Caps has a, you know, mini ignite, basically.
Yeah, this posturing's really interesting, right? Because you have Zoe on one side able to throw out these bubbles and the Qs over the wall, but Gala also being able, on the edge, able to poke them out. RNG not gonna get this one up, but Ming isn't here. This would be a 4v5.
Wei can get in and get out if he wants. Just go for the smite fight. Down to 900. Claimed. Well done by Caps. And now we look at round 2. That's going to be Gwen coming in. Drowsy, though, in melee range. Caps ignited, but finds the root. He keeps running away, and now he's left alone. Nicely done by Flakked. Jumps right in, and BrokenBlade gets his revenge. Dragon, kill number 1. Looking for number 2 as well. In again, BrokenBlade. Sets up a lot of space, and they get number 2. That sleep might make it hard to run away now as well. RNG just going to go ahead and walk away, licking their wounds. G2 getting everything they wanted. Yeah,
G2 taking the fight, getting the objective as well. A lot of summoners being burnt by their side. RNG not really having to burn any because, I mean, they were the ones looking for the play, right? Bin having to go in by himself. A lot of zoning coming out from BrokenBlade. Ming not even in the play yet, but RNG still thinking they had the angle. Sadly, though, they didn't. We're going to go straight into the replay here. We see them able to secure the Dragon, and Bin, critically, if I can speak, looking for the flank. It does get bubbled, and then here, the Everfrost coming out stops him from going in. RNG try to find their way onto Flakked, but really nice ult to be able to get away, not trade a 1-for-1. Then, like you said here, BrokenBlade and Targamas being the ones to buy space, so RNG can't follow up with the engage.
Yeah, I mean, everyone just, like, ran away. Like, that was, I think it was the last jump from Xiaohu, like, what? You know, ran away from the E-charge and the Vladimir. Like, even though he didn't hit anyone, that's what you said, right? Buying space, there was no re-engage. That is the power of a mid-game Vladimir. He's on a rocket belt. He's going for, you know, the high damage, backline access, bursty build sort of there. And now another fight in the bottom side. Jankos reveal not going to matter. Bubble's not going to land, neither will the Sonic Wave. But second Herald going to be under fire. And RNG feeling tough with this one. BrokenBlade spotted in the bot lane, pushing the wave. So RNG should say, hey, it's 5v4, we should try. Wei getting a bit low, though. Does not have smite right now for the heal. Jankos does, so RNG cannot really play this as they play it slower and slower. We're going to have BrokenBlade in this fight, so RNG can't actually go for it.
No, RNG gonna have to back off. We saw the poke able to come out from Caps, get the damage down. It's just the posturing coming out from G2 able to zone them off. Even if RNG had the smite there, I think it would have been very risky to commit for the objective with how fast BrokenBlade was able to follow up. So G2 once again picking up another objective. Mid lane turret also very low, so I would be surprised to see G2 angle for a time to look to group mid.
Okay, Cat's putting one skill shot out for a slow. Charm only hits the clone. Jankos doing a good job of making sure he can dodge those. It's instantaneous. You know, you are, even on 35 ping, it's 1 frame. Like, that's the timing. So, pretty reliable to get away from that one. And now Ben gonna jump right in, sees Flakked, no CC, but maybe baits him in anyway. And now as TV's come across, will it be enough? Zoe's in melee range and finds kill number 1, and there's no way out. Xiaohu is death number 2. RNG tried way too hard to kill themselves.
Yeah. That was such a confusing play coming out from RNG. Bin going in, saying, hey, Xiaohu can follow up as a TP, and RNG still posturing, might find this.
Yeah, combos it out, nicely done away, gets the Gore Trigger and the E across, so at least 1 kill traded back, good solo. But of course, 2-1 still in the extended play. G2 feeling good, and Shelly, well, that's gonna be second turret.
Yeah, G2 should be able to get this one. RNG gonna have to rotate up to stop a second charge from being able to come through. They'd already cleared the wave in mid, so not too much ring on this front, but a TP coming out from Bin.
Oh, they're gonna try yet again, all right. Okay, if you don't succeed, oh, wait! I think that was purely blind, beautifully done. Solo kill on a Flakked. Majai is picked up for Caps. That's exciting, no other kills.
Yeah. Majai. I love the confidence coming out from him with how spectacular of a game he's had so far. He just wants to keep bringing this one home right now, sitting almost a 3K gold lead up over RNG. Feels like the next objective we're going to be looking at is that Dragon coming up in a minute 30. So far, waves being pushed out, controlled bot side for the side of G2. Bin pushing that one in the top, so someone from RNG gonna push that one in. G2 will have to answer, and G2 now gonna be able to keep control over this bottom side river.
The mid comes in, 60% health on that turret. It's honestly just feeling pretty comfortable. 2,500 gold, solid lead for sure. Watch that fight yet again. Yeah, I think Ben just calls his teammates over, but doesn't realize the rest of them are already on the way.
Yeah, so he goes to get that deep ward right, doesn't realize G2's pretty much already here. Xiaohu TPing into his death. Does look a little bit troll, but like you said, I can kind of understand what they were looking for. And then Wei being sneaky, I think Targamas not thinking they'd still be posturing around mid, considering they just lost a fight, able to find a cheeky kill in the back half.
He kind of spaced it out nicely as well, right? The sort of tail end of the knockback and stun, he's still in range for the Gore Drinker and the E. So it kind of like hits Q2, ends up like 300 units out. But like that's fine, because that's still in range of all your spells. So even if it's like on a very small mechanical level, pretty much perfectly timed by Wei, no way to flash out or anything, so nicely done there. Still though, relatively close game, 2,500. Obviously, G2 are commanding in this one, but if you look at the bottom river, fight for the third dragon of the game, and it's RNG who have the first move. They've got at least some mid pressure, and they've got the wards. Yeah,
I like that we're seeing the two teams go in different directions, right? RNG knowing they can win the contest over mid-wave with the Ezreal, they already had members there first. So G2 quickly go down towards bot side to make sure they still have an avenue into the river. And it feels like, once again, it's going to devolve into this poke battle, right? How much can Caps get done compared to Gala on the other side, stopping members from coming in. G2, though, just going to go straight towards the dragon.
Started up. BrokenBlade's still going to play on mid, but he kind of wants to be in a flank spot in the first place. Blue Trigger spot's okay. I know where the back line has gone. We know what's going on there. Ming not spotted. A kick from behind. Really? Ooh. Just beautiful by Wei. They will sack the dragon. But until it turns into soul, the kill's probably worth more. Mid? Yeah, exactly. Mid pressure's the thing. They can rush down this turret, and a kill in a turret is better than second dragon.
Yeah, 100% RNG. Really nice play there. I can empathize with what both teams are doing, right? For G2, I mean, they couldn't contest mid-wave. They had to go through bot. That's how they found their avenue onto the objective. But Wei with just a really nice read. And I love that they knew they had the confidence that they'd be able to burst out BrokenBlade right away, that he wouldn't be able to get to pool and get out of there. And now RNG still not equalizing the gold, but keeping it close enough.
Yeah, I mean, it went from, you know, over 2,500 to about 1,700, so it is at least getting closer. I still, of course, favor G2, and they're not going to go the dragon. Keep in mind, a stolen smite for Caps, actually, not even spellbook, just got it from the ground, so puts a little bit of damage down there in the first place.
They're so fast.
I mean, 1,800 damage together. Wei might spot it soon. Q over the wall, sees it. Timing's going to be tight. Double spite. Oh, they don't go for it. He gets it in time. Jankos able to claim it. Out goes Wei. That was nearly a Baron snipe, but it's not going to happen. A good sneak all the same. Caps going to walk away cleanly. Xiaohu cannot really get in. Keep in mind, they still got Gwen push the bottom side. Bot lane outer is down. Will attack tier 2 as BrokenBlade attempts to answer equal level close CS, the two of them.
And this is just such a great day for the European fans.
Yeah.
I'm sad Veddies couldn't be here because, my God, G2 are completely showing up. Everyone's saying T1's the favorite, RNG, G2 being in that similar second tier. But I think most people probably would still lean RNG just from, you know, the dominance of LPL over the past few years.
Yeah, sure.
But G2 completely showing up today. And I mean, now with this Baron, we're going to see how much it can increase his gold lead. Tier 1 mid still up for RNG. Gala not going to be able to just clear out these waves like he's been doing all game. G2 get control of side, start moving towards mid, break this one down as a unit.
See them try it yet again. I think Smite's actually only up for Caps. Smite, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh no, okay, it was up for Wukong. I take it back, but the double smite comes through. And I believe that was Zoe plus Wukong. Time not the closest together, but still got it. The double smite in time.
Yep, still good enough for Wei not to be able to look for the contest there. Again, just the decisiveness coming out from G2 was huge. This is what we talked about. They just pushed in top wave, they pushed in bot. They're going to make these plays towards mid. And now, I mean, with the amount of siege that they have from the Zoe, they should be able to guarantee this one with the Baron buff. For RNG, their only hope is looking for a cheeky play with Wei. You can see him right now hovering in the bottom side jungle. But with Bin still not here, yeah.
Right, exactly. Just pulling up Gwen, there is no threat on you whatsoever, and Gwen is like seen on the wave. So Wei could engage a 4v5, it'll be Ming doing it, but Ming just explodes, nobody gets out! Gallop finds one, and they're gonna go for a little bit more now. Where's it gonna be? Where's BrokenBlade running away? Targamas, no, Flakked gonna get out just barely, a nice kick, but that's one already picked up onto the Gwen as Bin does show with the TP. Coming on for the rest of it, the sleep is there, and Wei will fall! Look at that, 4 versus 3 on the map. G2 still just taking more.
Yeah, they still Baron. They can still look to keep pushing down these objectives. RNG in a really bad place. Caps now picking up the flash. I'm on edge, Freak. I'm on edge.
I mean, they're getting so much done, though. G2 playing on the edge. At this point, knock another turret down. BrokenBlade, a small ping towards him. Getting farther and farther ahead. 4,000. Now the lead. G2 are commanding this game.
Yeah, a really smart rotation, making their way up towards top side. They'd already prepped this wave beforehand to go for that push in mid. They're very easily able to use that macro play to pivot up towards the top side, take another turret down. And RNG, I mean, I can understand them looking for a play, right? They're feeling very far behind. They know they need to find a way back into this game, but yeah, I feel like with the fact that Bin was still bot, the TV channel would take too long. Like, I get what they're looking for. Ming goes in. I'm very surprised he does not die here, able to get away by the skin of his teeth. Really nice Everfrost guarantees that Jankos goes down. And then here you see kind of the dichotomy. You see Bin going in, trying to buy space, but on the opposite end of the fight, it's BrokenBlade buying space for his carries to be able to make sure that Wei goes down. Yep. And in the midst of all this fighting, Caps is pretty much hitting every bubble to make sure that the damage wasn't able to follow through.
And BrokenBlade playing the zoning like role while building for full damage, right? It's Rocket Belt into Void Staff second. It's not the zone. He's not even like a Banshees because you're against, several AP. Like there's a consideration there, and he's still able to build so much time that despite being put down, he's still zoning at the back line, letting them just focus down the Gwen who was put ahead early on. And she's 1-3 now, right? And this is a champion who, right, they gave her so much lane control, they gave her a turret, they gave her a kill, and it just doesn't matter.
And I think it's so smart too, just for the fact that since RNG are going to be looking to dive the back line, it's pretty much leaving Gala and then maybe Xiaohu or Ming by themselves to deal with the Vladimir. You don't have enough burst to take down BrokenBlade, even if he is going the full damage, full burst build. So that threat alone is enough to dissuade them from looking for these plays. Now RNG going to try and pivot to playing sides, look for picks, but feels rough. I mean, BrokenBlade going to be the only one answering waves. Caps continuously holding hands with Jankos or just sitting in mid himself. So those opportunities really not going to be available.
Nope. Third Dragon of the game, going to go to G2 pretty cleanly here. Mountain Soul, overall, like on the average game, the best Dragon Soul in the game, by the way. Highest win rate, no matter what elo you look at, really, really, really strong. That shield just does so much to prevent comebacks because the, Ari one-shot you is just precluded by the 300-point shield and extra armor MR. So this really does hurt RNG's chances of finding the comeback. Gold lead grows to 5,000 now.
Even just the items, you look at it right now, yeah. Banshee's Veil on Xiaohu compared to the Void Staff coming out from Caps, so much more damage on their side. 3-item 80 carry Flakked, having the Phantom Dancer, having the IE as well, compared to only 2 items on Gala. Feels like RNG are so far away from a point in the game of being relevant against a comp that also scales very well, like we talked about, the Kisee, the Vladimir, the Wukong. I don't know. Gala probably needs like 2 or 3 more items, and then he needs to somehow 1v5 this game, dodging out Nautilus CC, dodging out Wukong ultimate.
Yep.
Sounds pretty possible, Freak.
What did G2 have? They had a solid bot lane that was holding up just fine in the lane overall. Okay, yeah, you lost a summoner once in a while, but like, bot lane was going fine, mid lane was going fine. We saw Caps get around, and now 1v1, Bin and BrokenBlade. Bin just deleting. It is not close, but Flakked in for a bit more. The flash safety is not going to happen for anything, so Xiaohu's going to come back in, finds the charm, but can't get any more done because Jankos is here, who wants to find that knockup, cannot do so. Xiaohu gets out. 1 for 1, both top laners die.
Resources were funneled into Bin. He's trying to show he can be the one to bring this game back, finds the kill, but being on G2 side of the map, they're able to rotate so quickly to answer, and sadly, not able to find much more. 1 for 1, though, when you're behind. I mean, RNG will take that any day of the week.
Yeah, but the problem is they've cashed in their gold lead at a 5 stopwatches. G2 will not lose the next team fight.
Yeah, it is looking pretty rough, as we see here, BrokenBlade actually being the one to come down because he knows he has follow-up from the rest of his team, underestimating the damage able to come out from Bin, but luckily Flakked being a sniper, hitting that W makes it so he can follow through with the ultimate, and then Xiaohu just wants to get the hell out of here because he knows the rest of G2 is waiting in the wings.
And now we get to try for maybe the next Baron of the game. G2 did a really good job, masterfully getting the first one. Double smite made it look pretty clean.
Oh, and like you said, 5 stopwatches for G2 in this fight.
So, they spent their gold lead, about 4,000 of their gold lead on the stopwatches. Worth it, by the way, to be clear, as it's going to be hard for RNG to find anything in this fight.
Yeah, and we're going to see now. I mean, it really feels like your only hope is been finding some kind of massive play, being able to get in on the backline with the TP. Maybe you get a huge ultimate. I have seen him miss some of the fully stacked Qs. It's like, had those hit, maybe you could have taken down Flakked in some previous fights. But G2 aren't going to let that happen. They have full control of vision right now. They don't have the scuttle, but still making it so that RNG aren't able to walk in. They can wait for that one to time out, just keep pushing in these waves. They don't really have too much to worry about.
Running is only half.
With a poke. It's one of the nice things. I'm sad that AP Kisee is gone. I really like playing her, but throughout the W poke, looks pretty good overall. Obviously, Zoe can do a bit as well. So once in a while, you find yourself with a man advantage because of that poke, but ultimately there's going to be a team fight AD carry with the build.
I'm so happy that's gone.
Really?
So happy that the W Flakked.
As a bot laner, a lot of fun.
Yeah, pretty much got cut in half. Things like A-ramps, that was completely disgusting.
Oh, yeah.
Also a lot more fun to see, the AD Kisee come out, having to play a bit more like an assassin, get on that back line, put yourself in harm's way, and really just show off the mechanical prowess that an AD carry is able to have. For G2 now, though, they don't need to exercise that mechanical prowess. They are sitting on soul point. They can wait 1 minute, 20 seconds, force RNG to come into them. They've been winning every fight pretty handedly so far, making their gold lead up to 4,000. And like we said, for RNG, it's pretty much the bin show. Gala, I don't feel like he does enough relevant damage in these fights where the poke is meaningful, especially up against things like the Wukong. You have the armor coming out from your passive. BrokenBlade's going to be able to heal up nice and fine. And Caps and Flakked really never in harm's way.
Sees him, wants to go in, going to find the charm. Oh, there's the first stopwatch burn, but Caps doesn't have an easy way out. Has a real flash, gets over the wall, but they get him. They get the shutdown. 1 for 1 so far, though, has been destroyed. BrokenBlade going to take a bit of damage, will walk out, but without Caps, that's 10 stacks off the Magi. He was at 14. And I believe this should be RNG having control over the bottom river now. Smite down for Wave, burns it on Scuttle, but it's going to be the short cooldown. Targamas slowed down, nearly killed. Gala can't go in for a whole lot more, but now they know they forced G2 away. 30 seconds still on this Dragon, but that's still going to line up with Caps being dead. He doesn't have spellbook, he can't get there on time. And RNG know it. They should, by all rights, just always get this Dragon.
That's the thing, right? Even though both teams did kind of take down the primary carry we've seen on the opposite side, RNG definitely having much more firepower, especially with Gala being there, able to unload those missed shots, making it so you can't walk in for free on this objective. And Xiaohu's fishing.
He's in fog. He's gonna. He always plays the clone. You can see, kind of shoots to the side, like in case he, picks downwards the W. Maybe go for the shot, but went backwards. Pretty smart choice here. So if Vin needs TP, he can. True shot barrage gets a bit of poke. Okay, no, they're not on Baron. They're not doing anything cheeky here. And you just let someone solo it, right? So it's going to be Ben doing so. He TPs the bottom lane, wants to be on the map. And covering their bases pretty well, right? G2 know that they can play for the credible Baron play, so RNG have to kind of cover that one. They let Ben solo it. I think both teams really played this macro quite well in terms of what their options were. So G2 going to try.
RNG no TP, though, on the Gwen. So if G2 can find a really nice decisive turn, they should be able to take the fight.
Yeah, because that half, though, is a bit of a danger. Way sticking around there. 4K health on Baron. They have to be careful about this timing here. And Ben going to be here soon enough. And G2 flinch. They say, we're not willing to play for this. We're not willing to flip it. Jankos so low, jumps the wall. That's a huge stun. They're going to knock down Xiaohu, rooted in place, and Caps gets his revenge. BrokenBlade Zonias, but BrokenBlade may not have a way out. They get him back again. Soul Laner's dead now, once each on both sides. The re-engage gives a crush, shut down into Gala. Min going to be next. The bot lane is in shambles. A double for Jankos, and now they're going to go for a little bit more. And Flakked in his free fire on the bin. Another death onto the Gwen, and G2 going to get the Baron after all.
And Flakked's repositioning in these fights with that ultimate and his flash have been so beautiful to make sure he doesn't go down. G2, like you said, are going to get the Baron. I love that Caps is still hunting for Way. And G2 just continuing to run through with these fights.
Rookies, man. 22-year-old rookie, but a rookie nonetheless. This man is so good. Flakked is outstanding and has been all MSI. Great scouting, obviously, coming out of the ERLs. Beautiful stuff. And G2 have put put themselves together an amazing roster.
Yeah, and we're going to go back to how the fight happens. Like we said, Gwen not able to be here, but RNG still having enough poke to look for the contest, to posture them off the objective. Xiaohu here trying to find his way onto Cavs, but instantly Targamas and co kind of turning to make sure he's able to do so. Wei tries to find his way into the back line. We see BrokenBlade zoning them off once again on the opposite side, but here really feels like the turning point for me, where we see Bin able to come in. He's going to try and find his way onto Flakked. The stopwatches are just so annoying for RNG to deal with, but able to flash out from danger. You have all the damage there. The damage dealers from RNG are already dead, and that's just a fight for G2.
I mean, really, really beautiful stuff. So, correct myself, 21 for Flakked. Had my memories wrong, but I mean, regardless, like, this is just really impressive because to me, the history of G2, for those who are G2 fans more recently, the start of G2's international career was really bad. Their first MSI, G2 and 8 memes, if you remember those, like it was a rough start for G2. Worlds looked bad as well. They kept missing, and then just banger after banger. The last few years for G2 has been like, they're clearly the best team in Europe. They're one of the top teams internationally. They're so absurd, and their talent scouting has been so damn good as well, right? Like, you know, BrokenBlade, fresh off TSM, comes over. He's been outstanding. Flakked and Targamas were in the LEC for the last 3 years. I mean, Flakked's a full rookie. Targamas played one split 3 years ago, so straight out of the ERLs, basically, as far as I'm concerned. G2 scouted them out, grabs them, and this is the team that comes back to MSI and are going to be the only undefeated team at MSI.
And not being afraid to break apart a star-studded roster, right? Reckless, Wonder, like these types of players that are so good, that are so heralded. I mean, even just the hit in terms of like fan perception you would take. G2 said, no, we are aiming for a trophy. We're aiming for more titles. They were willing to do it. And at least so far, it's only best of ones, but it's paying off against the best teams in the world.
Yeah, and they have looked impressive. Nice kickback, though. Could be a kill, but Jankos had his stopwatch. Wei will not yet die, but the charm lands. Xiaohu's there. Knocked into the air. Tries to get the spells off, and they will get one from Bin. Now Gala running for his life. There's been so many narrow margins, but RNG get the 1-for-0 and have time to reset.
That's the one thing you got to give RNG in this game so far. They've always looked for the angle to find the engage, to find the pick. Wei constantly waiting behind G2 to find these kicks into the rest of his team. I mean, Gala there somehow luckily able to get away, making it so they don't lose too much, but G2 still able to finish off that turret and get out scot-free.
Now, thank you, Glacial Shroud. I assume he took some physical damage at some point in that fight, and that armor did make the difference, obviously on Hex Drinker now as well, so that will help next time around when Caps wants him.
And we're going to see here Wei being very patient all game, looking for these opportunities. Now, uses the E to reveal, waits for him to use that ult, show himself once again. I thought here this would go down for RNG because they didn't find their way onto one of the key carries, but still Xiaohu able to hit the charm was the difference maker in being able to take that one away. And Flakked, it's just so sad not able to finish off Gala with that Q, making it so RNG are able to find the one kill on the Jankos.
I was told 6 HP was the count on Gala, so real low, but made it out in the end. And you know, anytime you say, hey, 2 armor nerfs don't matter, there you go. 2 armor would have been the difference maker there. So once in a while, you have those big deals. Now, G2, of course, still feeling great. Once again, playing for Dragon Soul. Mountain Soul is going to be so much for them if it happens. Scuttle does belong to RNG. Makes it a bit tougher to navigate. They can't play full Fog of War, but G2 should feel comfortable.
I mean, especially now, right? We see Flakked coming out the GA. Bin gonna look for a bit of engage.
Jumps right on in. A lot of damage. Targamas might just get soloed. He does. Beautiful start here. Will it be enough for the rest of it? BrokenBlade trying to buy some time. Min gonna jump right back out. Will stay alive, but Bin has to be careful. Going right back in. Wukong for the knockup on a 1. Stopwatch burn, and down goes Xiaohu. Will they trade it back? Yo, he's healing. He's staying alive. Two-shot barrage. Gala stays alive. Caps finds one. Wei on the way out has a Guardian Angel, though. Flash in. It's going to be enough for Caps. Burns the Zhonya's Hourglass yet again. Gala playing to his limits, but ignited and falls. And G2 mop the floor with RNG.
What was essentially a 4v5. G2 were able to turn it around. Great play coming out from Jankos. Flakked, once again, is so damn fearless, just constantly going in. He had the GA. He knew he was fine, and they took RNG down.
Absolutely beautiful. If you want to see what the best team in the world plays like, you better take notes. It's MSI and G2 are back.
What an absolutely glorious day for Europe. I remember Jankos tweeting when he saw the schedule day 1, well, might as well just go home. They come in, they clap the region that just won Worlds. Heck, the last MSI champions to take out T1 who honestly looked like one of the scariest teams to ever exist. They weren't afraid in the face of these Titans. And heck, they came out as the bigger Titan themselves.
24 games in a row. G2 have killed the enemy Nexus. The best teams in Europe couldn't stop them. The best team in North America, the best team in Australia couldn't stop them. The best team in Korea, the best team in China cannot stop them. Who in the world can stop G2 at this point?
Yeah, that is a tough question. Maybe looking at some plucky underdogs, some Buffalo, some PSG Talons.
We'll look tomorrow.
I was gonna say, at least for the rest of the day, G2 get to go home happy. No, they came out again against tougher competition. Sure, like they did lose early against T1, but I think things like that are even more impressive, knowing you can have games like this where you find a dominant early start and win. You can also have games where you fall behind and are able to find the fights, find the macro to come back through.
And it's beautiful to watch. I am excited. This is not just like, oh, well, here's T1, everyone fight for second. It is G2. People are fighting to keep up. It's beautiful to see incredible play by this team. So G2 have taken down T1, G2 have taken down RNG, and they extend their win streak farther. 22 games on the prompter, maybe misremembered, in a row. It's beautiful to see. Now, after the break, we will